Thanks for watching News 46 at noon.
All right, we have one more day of warmth, and then it's going to cool off, and I am really looking forward to that cooling off this weekend.
Some of us, depending on where you live, yeah, you can almost get too much of a good thing. You know,
yes,
that's
indeed.
true. Well, it will cool off a little bit tomorrow, Patty, but outside we go right now to show you what's happening with our weather here. We'll go to Santa Cruz. It's a good stop. You know, Santa Cruz earlier in the week, you may recall, was socked in with the fog virtually all day long. Not the story today. A nice day out there today. Lots of sunshine on the boardwalk, and you'll see some pleasant 70-degree readings there. We expect the high to get easily up into the middle 70s by the time all is said and done. And there's our pretty shot brought to you by Toyota of Santa Cruz. Let's check out our current conditions here at News 46. Here's how things are shaping up. We do have a breeze kicking up out of the northwest to 14 miles an hour, and the temperature way up there to 73 already. Beautiful afternoon out there. 51% is the relative humidity. Now, the barometric pressure is steady at this hour at 29.99 inches of mercury. Across the rest of the nation, not a whole lot to talk about here in the west. Big upper-level low spinning through the Midwest right now. Some cold rain coming out of that one. And the rest of the nation, not looking too bad, except for the fact we've got showers and thunderstorms going for the Ohio Valley and on up into the Tennessee Valley. For now, the East Coast appears to be spared the brunt of that action, but hang on for tomorrow. It looks like that storm will approach there. Out here in the west, though, kind of an interesting weather pattern developing here. The ridge of high pressure, as Patty indicated, hanging on for one more day, so the clouds kind of spilling over the top of that ridge. But embedded within the ridge right here is an upper level low that's approaching the coastline. That'll fling a few high clouds our way today from time to time, and then this should eventually move into southern California, while a cold front, part of a larger upper level storm system moving through the British Columbia area, that cold front will eventually move into northern California. By Saturday night, looks like Saturday night, Sunday, the front sweeps on through the state. It'll be a dry front this time around, but it will definitely drop our temperatures and probably kick up the breeze a bit just in time for the Memorial holiday weekend. Now, today, the high up in Eureka, 60 degrees, way down to San Diego, 73, and all places in between. Fairly mild, typical stuff here. A beautiful spring afternoon going in all locations. 96 in Redding, 100 degrees in Fresno. Hotter than that in Vegas and Palm Springs, what you might imagine, and 80 degrees today in Lake Tahoe. You have some outdoor plans on the bay today. We'll expect the wind eventually to switch around to the west-northwest. 10 to 20 knots today with the seas 2 to 3 feet, and that swell southwesterly-westerly 1 to 3 feet. The next high tide coming up just about an hour from right now at over 4 feet. So for the forecast today, mostly sunny skies. The sea breeze developing in the afternoon today. Some inland warming today, as if it wasn't warm enough yesterday. Should be even a bit warmer today. Here is the way we go as we look around the Central Coast. 74 the high today in Salinas. You folks down in Greenfield expect a high of 92. 82 in Carmel Valley. Yes, the Valley of the Sun, indeed. Mostly sunny over on the Monterey Peninsula today. 67 in Monterey, 68 in Seaside, 64 in PG. How about over in Santa Cruz? We mentioned before they'll be in the mid-70s on the boardwalk. Here's how it's looking in other locations, up into the 90s up in that Santa Clara Valley, which you might expect. And for the next 5 days, pretty nice one today, slightly cooler tomorrow, still warm inland as you can see, but the real change kicks in the first day of our upcoming Memorial Day holiday weekend. Mid-60s along the coast, upper 80s inland, and that cooling trend and the brisk sea breeze will continue right on through Memorial Day itself, which is, of course, on Monday, usually signifying the unofficial start to summer. It's going to be a bit cooler, though it will be dry, should be pretty mild. And once again, here we are, Thursday, one of our favorite days of the week here at News 46. We get a chance to say once again hello to Hal and our new friend here. Hal, how are you?
I'm very good.
Good.
This is Big Daddy that I have for you today. He's a pug mix, and he's about 6 years old. He was over in Greenfield with 6 or 7 little ones.
Oh, yeah.
And he was sort of taking care of them all. And when we rescued him, why, he still is very protective of all of them. So we have there's about 4 left now, just his size.
He's a born leader, and 4 just like
a little bit smaller, but they're all basically the same color. And Big Daddy figures that they're his family, so he sort of herds them around and takes care of them.
Looks like it'd be a terrific lap dog.
Very good lap dog, and great for somebody that didn't want to do a lot of exercising.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be outside. He can be inside, and very good dog for that sort
How do you
of
think
thing.
Big Daddy would work with kids?
I don't know. He's not mean at all. I don't know whether he's been around kids or not, but he seems to react all right. But he isn't very lively. He's a rather laid-back dog. So, but he was with a little guy over here today and got along real well with him.
Is that right? Good. Looks like he's got kind of a stoic demeanor on him there. Hey, Big Daddy. Hey.
You say something.
Look at that. Oh, a face. Oh, look at that.
He's got a lot of character.
Yes, he does. And you know, the other characters are back at the SPCA, and if you'd like to get a hold of one of them or Big Daddy here, take him right off of Hal's lap, if you will. Here are the numbers to call: 373-2631. And Hal, as always, we do appreciate you coming in from the Monterey SPCA, and all of our best to Big Daddy and his big friends back at the SPCA.
We thank you for the opportunity.
My pleasure. Always a great time to see you, Hal. And once again, we will say hello to our friend over at the news desk, and that would be Patty Pyvern.
Thanks for watching News 46 at noon.
Well, everyone's making plans for the Memorial Day weekend, and of course, we all want to know what the weather's going to be like.
So much going on. We got the surfing in Santa Cruz, the flying in Watsonville, and right now, just some high clouds out there. Probably cooling down the temperatures just a tad this weekend, but that's it. Little breeze going too, and that's about the worst of it. Let's go to Santa Cruz right now and see how things are shaping up as we speak. Other than the high clouds, looking pretty decent out there. Toyota of Santa Cruz, of course, bringing us the picture as always. And not a bad day out there. You know, that Longboard Club Invitational gets underway at Steamers Lane this weekend, beginning tomorrow. So looks like the surf's not going to be unusually high, but Mother Nature is going to cooperate in the weather department. Looks like a pretty good weekend out there. And here we go. Let's check out our current conditions here at News 46. Right now, the temperature is hovering in the upper 60s. 69 right now to be exact. 58% is the relative humidity. That northwesterly breeze out of the northwest, which is a good direction for a northwesterly breeze to come from. Now that I think about it, the pressure's at 29.98 inches of mercury. Now, let's look to the southwest at this hour and see the cutoff low right here. Kind of a complicated pattern. A couple of different pieces of energy kind of spinning over the top of this ridge of high pressure. Even the radar picking up a few echoes here. This is likely falling, not even falling to the water or the land. It's probably some virga just evaporating in the air before it reaches the landfall or the surface of the earth, if you will. But there's the center of the low. We're going to watch it increasingly push towards the coast, and as it pushes closer to us, we get more clouds, a little cooler weather, but really looks like a pretty mild weekend ahead for us. No big trouble spots to speak of. That's pretty much the story across the west coast. But look what's happening here across the Great Lakes. Boy, a big old weather maker. Mostly cold rain pushing its way from the Great Lakes, trailing a cold front back this way towards the east coast. Thunderstorms aplenty here and down towards the south as well, and more needed rain happening in, well, that's Baja there, but Florida is the other peninsula we were just pointing to a moment ago. Here's the low right here as it kind of falls apart, shears apart as it pushes towards the west coast, with that ridge of high pressure weakening and pushing to the east a little bit. But once this system slowly works its way out of the picture, and I mean that literally, of course, we got the ridge of high pressure setting up out here for about Tuesday or so after the holiday weekend to probably send us up into one of those warm spells we know here on the Central Coast. But a little early to start predicting high temperatures this early in the game, but it could be kind of a toasty one coming up next week. For today, mild stuff, 58 in Eureka, upper 60s across San Francisco and Monterey, low 70s down across the Southern California coastline. If you're traveling on this Friday, kind of getting a jump on the weekend ahead. 99 for the high in Fresno, right along Highway 99 as a matter of fact. 104 in Vegas and 107 in Palm Springs. Got some plans on the bay today, do you? Well, here you go. Let's see how it's looking. Wind out of the west-northwest, 10 to 20 knots. The swell, again, not all that big for you surfers out there, too, this weekend, but hopefully good enough for the big Steamer Lane surfing exhibition out there. Mild sun for us today with some high clouds, not quite as warm as it has been. Let's take a look at some of those forecasted high temperatures that we so diligently have put together for you this morning. 84 in Carmel Valley, 92 in King City today, 72 in Salinas. And another check on the Monterey Peninsula. 66 in Carmel, same temperature for Seaside, 67 in Monterey. And over in Santa Cruz today, here's what you can expect on the boardwalk, 73 degrees under mostly sunny skies. The next 5 days, you ask? We've got a slow cooling trend going right on through the Memorial Day holiday weekend, and then we start to warm it up just in time for the beginning part of next week. But good stuff ahead, and speaking of good things ahead, let's check in with Patty and Robert.
They say that the roller coaster represents the ups and downs in their life. It's one way to get married.
It certainly is. And on the theme of roller coasters, we should check out our extended forecast.
Yes, we should.
We have a lot to talk about. In fact, here we go. In honor of the Panetta Lecture tonight with Mark Russell, should we laugh or cry about our future track? Well, we'll find out. I think probably just enjoy it because we don't see any rain in sight, that's for sure. Today, good stuff on the way. Sunshine for everybody. A few lingering clouds, especially the northern end of the Monterey Bay, but for the most part, warm coast side, hot inland. Here are some of those toasty numbers for you that we promised you. Mid-70s up in the northern end of the Salinas Valley, low 90s down to the south, mid-80s in the Carmel Valley, and over in the Monterey Peninsula area. Here you go, 68 in PG, 72 in Monterey, 73 in Seaside. Up into the Santa Cruz area, more clouds, cooler temperatures, 60s along the coast, 80s and a few 90s in those inland valleys. Here you go for the next 5 days. Another hot one on the way tomorrow inland, then gradually cool things down beginning on Wednesday, right on through the end of the week. Looks like pretty good stuff.
It does, and that weekend looks nice.
I think so.
Okay.
Let's make our plans right now, shall we?
Thank you, Gary.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here again tomorrow afternoon.
Ciao for now.
Possibly a little bit cooler, but not all that much cooler in the inland areas. And I'd like to thank the Pravat family for making this day a very special one for me. And we might even see you back for the 11 with any luck at all. Thank you, Mike. Back to you.
No problem. But first, we're going to hear from Gary, who is trying to hide from the heat. Gary?
I'm Gary Butterworth. Who says they don't blame the weatherman? I've got the forecast coming up. I'll just be using my head right after this. We hope.
And we know that Gary is in Florida because we can see him.
Yes, part of the assignment is to go to Disneyland in Orlando, Florida for the big kickoff of CMN. And that is where Gary Butterworth. Gary, are you having fun?
Yeah, you bet, Karina and Romney. It's great to see both of you. And I tell you, I'm going to talk to Ben Williams about the humidity here in Florida. It's not quite the same as it is back there on our beautiful Central Coast, but yes, we have been having a terrific time here at Orlando. Of course, we're at Disney World here in Orlando, the Epcot Center. There's some 11 nations here, well represented. I see we had lunch in China, and I believe we ran through Norway and had a little tea in Britain. And by the way, I'm here with Kendra Howell, who's the CMN director for the local Salinas Memorial Hospital. And Kendra, this has been such a great experience for us. We don't want to diminish the fact that we've been sitting in on meetings and getting ready for the big experience. What have you come away with at this point now?
Well, I think what's really great is the fact that you've got 170 hospitals represented here, 200 TV stations, and we're all pulling together, getting ready for the CMN Champions Show, so there's a lot of energy here.
And I'll tell you, I know one person that's excited about it, and I know a lot of our viewers are too. It gives me great pride and pleasure to introduce to you Drew Bledsoe of the New England Patriots. Drew, thanks for joining us today. It's a pleasure.
Glad to be a part of this organization.
Give us some insights. I know I saw you last year hosting. It was my first year last year. You did a great job. What are you looking for this year in terms of...
Well, the broadcast is going to be amazing. I mean, we've got Amy Grant's doing a live show. We've got a live Motown show. They're going to take a bunch of us quarterbacks out and put us on the golf course and do a little skills challenge, which should be entertaining, to say the least.
I bet you hit the greens occasionally yourself.
Once in a while. But really the stars of the show, as they are every year, are going to be the champion kids. We have 61 champions this year that represent the hospitals around the nation that Children's Miracle Network helps. And the stories of these kids' lives are truly amazing. I met a boy this morning, actually was hit by a car, run over. His parents were told that he had basically no chance. This morning he walks up on stage, gives a speech to 400 and 500 people, and is just doing great. So I mean, and all 61 of the stories are like that. It's really amazing and very motivating.
How did you get involved in this personally? Obviously, you have a lot of demands on your time in addition to the football field.
Well, I was honored to have Joe Lake from the Children's Miracle Network come and ask me to be involved on a regional level in New England 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. And obviously was honored, jumped at the chance, and from there it's just been a no-brainer to continually increase my involvement because it's such a great organization.
What's your feeling on the fact that we have to break away pretty quick here, but the money all stays local? I know that's important.
That's probably the most important thing about Children's Miracle Network. Not only does the money all stay local, but every single dime that people call in and donate goes directly to the hospitals. There's no administrative charge that comes out of your dollar. There's no television charge, nothing that comes out of your dollar. All goes directly to your local hospital, which is really amazing.
Great pleasure to meet you, and on behalf of Kendra Howell, we'll look forward to seeing you May 30th and 31st, live from Orlando, Florida. Bye-bye for now.
All right, you need a bug light, Gary. Anyway, have a great time.
Hello, everyone. We are back live live at First Night Santa Cruz having our rockin' time with the Bill Hawkins Rockin' Orchestra. And you know what? A lot of families are out here tonight because of the alcohol-free policy.
Well, Elsa, that's right. Gary Butterworth here. And let me tell you, the Robinson family is here tonight. And they, I understand, just came down from Prunedale. Mr. Robinson, is this your first time here at First Night?
Well, it's really a pleasure to be here. I can barely hear myself, but I'm really enjoying it.
Your son Jacob is here tonight. Jacob, is there anything in particular you're looking for? Or are you just kind of out here with your family having a good time?
I'm out here with my family, waiting for the clock to hit 12, New Year's 98, everything.
Well, good for you. You know, it's only a stone's throw away from right here. As a matter of fact, just to get our clock synced up here, we're coming up on 10 o'clock tonight. Only 2 more hours left in this year of 1997. I wonder if your mom has any New Year's resolutions. Is Mrs. Robinson back there? Oh, we're going to have to go find her. There she is. Mrs. Robinson from Prunedale, any New Year's resolutions for you?
That's a good question. I resolved this year not to make any resolutions.
You know, I like that. I think that's something we can all live with. Well, here we are tonight at First Night Santa Cruz. Of course, this festivity has been going on since 1994, and we expect to have roughly 20,000 people here tonight. And believe it or not, there's still time to get here, and there's still quite a bit of room by the old clock tower. So if you want to come down tonight, absolutely come down. But being a weatherman, I can tell you, the low clouds and patchy fog are starting to move into the Bay Area, so it's a little on the chilly side. Dress warmly in layers, and also wear some comfortable shoes, because there's some 40 different locations with some 750 artists and 300 performances going on as I speak. There's just something for everybody. And Elsa, I tell you, what a great turnout tonight. As long as you can stay warm, I mean, this is just great family entertainment.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's the only... if you want to call it a problem, there hasn't been any problems tonight, but if you're concerned about the cold or any other problem, if the cold's the only real thing you gotta, you know, make sure you're prepared for, because it is rather chilly out here.
Absolutely.
But we will be back in another 30 minutes with a live update from First Night Santa Cruz. We hope to see you then. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody.
It was just a dream.
You've seen ace weatherman Gary Butterworth run circles around the weather. But how would Gary do in the Big Sur Marathon?
Marathon? Huh?
How about the KION 5K?
5K? Okay.
If you can't see yourself running a marathon, but you'd like to have some fun, join Gary Butterworth for a picturesque 5K run Sunday, April 27th at Highway 1 and Rio Road in Carmel. Call 625-6287 for more information. Don't worry, Gary. You've still got a year to train for the marathon.